I'm Dr. Deb Butler, and you are listening to Thinner Peace in Menopause and Beyond. This is episode number 473. Well, hello, all my dear friends all over this beautiful world of ours. How are you today? You can see me if you're on YouTube, or you can hear me if you're on any of your favorite podcast platforms. And it's a pleasure to be here today because I have some things I'd like to talk to you about. I want to talk to you a little bit today. I've gotten some feedback from some of my clients about how helpful the last episode that I did on the mind body connection was for them, helping them with their eating when they're hungry and stopping when they're full. Or are they eating when they're hungry and stopping when they're full? And realizing that the mind body connection is more than just eating when you're hungry and stopping when you're full. And that is really important to know because you know that in all 473 podcasts that I've done with you, I've talked about the basics of, do you know when you're hungry and do you know when you're full? I've done many classes on it. I've done many courses on it, and will continue to do that because it's such an important connection. And it's so, you're wired to do it. That's the way your body is wired, because your body is wired to stay alive. And one of the best ways to stay alive is to eat. Nutrition. You cannot stay alive if you don't eat and drink. So our body is totally connected into keeping us alive. And our bodies let us know when we're hungry, and our bodies let us know when we're full since the day that we were born. And even then, probably when we were in the womb, we already have that connection. So the question then becomes, how did you lose that connection? Well, if you're in menopause and you've noticed that you've gained weight and you don't know how, or you don't know how it just creeped on you, I have people telling me so many things about this menopause weight gain. It just creeped on, or it's just been there for a long time and got worse when I was in menopause. For me, it just got worse when I was in menopause. I've been struggling with weight my whole life, always going up and down 25 pounds, have probably lost 250 pounds in my lifetime. And I just got sick of it when I was in menopause because it was so much harder. And if you're in menopause, you might have noticed that it's not as easy as it used to be. And maybe if you're anything like I was, I think I made losing weight a hobby. It's just something I did. And I always tried to find the latest and the greatest. And boy, now with the internet, there is always a latest and greatest idea, a better food, a better time to eat. Don't eat, do eat, don't eat this, do eat that. And there are so many things on the internet to tell you anything. In fact, it can just be overwhelming and confusing. And I'm overwhelmed and confused when I look at it. So I can imagine what it must be like for you. So if you've been listening to me for a long time, or you're just starting to listen to me for the first time, I want to welcome you. And what I want to tell you is that I have created a thinner peace process. It's about how to create peace in your body around food. And I specifically like to teach it during menopause because usually during menopause, you are the most frustrated that you've probably been with the scale because your body does not let go of weight the way it used to. When I was younger, I could lose 10 pounds in 2 days. I could. Now, it might take 2 months or 3 months. So it's like, if that's the way it is, how much do you want to keep doing this? And maybe it's time to find a new hobby if that's what it is for you. And menopause is all about, who are you? Who do you want to become? And what do you want to do now? What have you always wanted? Are you getting what you've always wanted? Do you know what you want? This time of life is a perfect time to look and see, who are you and what do you want? I think probably the last time I was that introspective was when I was in my 20s. Who am I? What do I want to do? The whole thing. And now that I'm in my 70s and created a program in my 50s about this menopause thing, I want you to know that you could become a different person many different phases in your life. You just become more of who you already are. I really believe that's probably the best thing about getting older is you know more of who you are and what you want and you get closer to it. Now, the hardest way to get closer to it is if you're eating your emotions. Because if you're eating your emotions, then you can't let your emotions guide you to what you want, right? You just can't. You're busy eating. And then you think the problem is the eating. And then you're trying to find the right diet or the right way to do it so that you can take care of this problem so you can finally be who you are. But it's not the weight loss that's going to help you. Losing weight isn't going to do anything other than make your clothes fit better. And if you've got some health issues or some lab issues, it might change that too, which is a really good thing. But that's it. Right. And I think we think if we lose weight, everything's going to change. But really, if you want things to change in your life, you change them. And then it's so much easier to lose weight. So if you're watching this on YouTube, then you're seeing that I have my free masterclass that I'm offering in 2 weeks. And this masterclass is called the Menopause Mindful Eating Makeover. And it's a rendition of many of the courses that I've taught over the years and many of the things that I've talked about on this podcast, but I'm using a different angle because I always talk about the mind body connection in terms of eating when you're hungry and stopping when you're full. But that is not the only connection. So, this masterclass is how to heal your relationship with food and menopause. And that's with the assumption that you have not had a good relationship with food before menopause, right? Menopause just makes it harder. And if you're also in a place where you're trying to figure out who you are and what you want to do because your roles are changing, which for many women, the 50s is all about change. And to me, it's like the best time to find out who you are and what you want to do. Maybe it's the same, maybe it's different, but I think we're always becoming somebody new and different. And in fact, in Michelle Obama's first book that she wrote, the title was called Becoming. Such an appropriate name for her, but also a message to all women that we are all becoming something different all the time. We don't stay the same. And she was kind of referring to the idea that she wasn't going to be first lady anymore and she was becoming something different. And when she became first lady, she was becoming the first lady. And she kind of talked about that. That was kind of her whole memoir of her life so far and all the different things that she's become. She was a lawyer at one time, so many different things. And like when I think about my life, I've become so many different things. I thought when I was in my 20s, what I wanted to be was I wanted to work with little kids. I had an early childhood education and I really wanted to work with little kids. They were delightful. And I started doing that for a while. And then my husband wanted to become a chiropractor. And my husband said, boy, this would be so beautiful for you. And I started looking into it and I wanted to become something different. And I wanted to be a chiropractor and I wanted to help people find ways to become healthy and that the spine was the answer to so many things in terms of health. But it was becoming something different than what I was, very different from early childhood. And then after I was a chiropractor for a long time, then I wanted to become something different. And every single time I wanted to become something different, there was an emotion that was going on that was writing all of this. And if you're eating when you're not hungry, it's very difficult to connect to the emotions that are driving you to something different. And that is really why I think we need a menopause mindful eating makeover, because we want to make over our mind body connection. So it's not just about what you're eating. But this is going to be on 2 days. So a lot of you have always said to me, oh, I can't make that time. And so what I've done is I'm doing 2 classes at 2 different days and 2 different times to make it easier for you to come and see me live. So it's on May 5th and May 7th, one at 10 a.m. Central and one at 2 p.m. Central. So maybe morning works better for you. Maybe afternoon works better for you. Maybe a Monday works better for you. Maybe a Wednesday works better for you. Come live so that I can teach and coach, because part of what I do and part of the makeover is getting into your mind and showing people how our minds get in the way of why we eat when we're not hungry. It's the whole therapy's process. So that is going to be playing on. And I think it is fascinating that if I don't want you to become someone new. I'm not trying to make you into somebody you're not. This isn't about becoming somebody new. It's about returning to you who you've always been. It may seem like it's somebody new, but really it's all the desires that you've always had that maybe you haven't connected to. So I'm helping you do a makeover that brings you back to what your body already knows. So, what has your body been trying to tell you? Here's some questions I'd love to ask you. Do you eat when you're tired or do you rest when you're tired? I think it's such a great question, only because I think the number one reason for many people of why they eat at night is because they're so tired and they either think eating is going to keep them awake or eating is going to fill that space of being tired. Right? When the only thing you do when you're tired is rest and there's no amount of food that's going to fill it. That's the problem with any type of emotional hole, is that you can eat all you want and the hole is still there. So it's like it doesn't help. Let me ask you this. Do you find yourself turning to food when you're lonely, anxious, or overwhelmed? In menopause, so many people eat not because they're hungry, but because they're disconnected from what their bodies are actually asking for. And so, my question to you is, do you know when your body says that it needs to rest? Or do you know when your body says it's in pain? Take care of me. Or do you know when it's asking for something other than food? Right? So, we have emotional hunger and we have physical hunger. And physical hunger can only be taken care of with food, and emotional hunger can never be taken care of with food. So if you've been racing through tiredness, or you've been racing through emotions, or you've been racing through discomfort and then using food to cope, this is what I call a mind-body disconnection. And the result, you eat when you're not hungry. And guess what the side effect is? It's called weight gain. Most of you will come because you want to lose weight, or like I like to say, or what Lizzo says, you want to release the weight and you want to release this burden that's causing this weight gain. When you restore your mind-body connection, which means eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full, rest when you're tired, take care of your pain before it's screaming at you. When you're feeling sad, you let yourself feel sad. If you're feeling lonely, you let yourself feel lonely so you can decide what you need so you're not lonely. When you start taking care of your emotions and you start taking care of your pain, and when you start taking care of resting, the side effect becomes weight loss or weight release. And the reason I don't like to use weight loss is because I love what Lizzo said. She said her boyfriend asked her, well, if you lost the weight, where did it go? Is it going to come back? Releasing the weight means it's gone. And to me, when you release the weight, it's like you're releasing the burden that caused the weight in the beginning. So I love the term release. So what I'm going to teach in this class, it's going to be 75 minutes. So I'm going to have time to teach you and coach you. And the beauty of watching other people being coached, at least when I watch it and when I've had it done to me, is when I hear somebody else being coached, usually there's something going on with them that's going on with me, and I didn't know it until I heard it. And when I am getting coached specifically, usually a good coach will help me see something I have never seen before that is in the way of my weight release. And that's what happens when I do these master classes is I might coach you just one time, and one time may be enough for you to have a release. It really can be amazing. I think the one thing that I would never do without again for the rest of my life is coaching out of everything I've done, including chiropractic. And I really love to keep chiropractic in my life. I was a chiropractor. I know the basis and the beauty of it, and I know how important it is. But I'll tell you what, having my mind clean and watching the crazy things that it has to tell me that I'm believing and that I don't realize it because I can't see it, a good coach can help you see it. And when your mind is clear, it's so much easier to take care of yourself. So, what I'll be doing in this class and what I want you to be thinking about is I want to teach you a simple way to recognize whether your hunger is emotional or physical. I'm going to teach you on what your body is really telling you when you crave food when you're not hungry. I'm going to teach you how to stop overeating without willpower or shame. I'm going to teach you that the real reason traditional diets stop working in menopause, there's a reason for it. I want to teach it to you. It's not that big of a secret. Maybe you already know it, but I will tell you what, there's a reason why external diets can't work. And that's because a mind-body connection is the only thing that can work. And I'm also, if you show up for class, I'm going to have a printable worksheet that will help you practice what I'm teaching you so that you can use it in real life. So who is this for? Who's this masterclass for? Well, if you're a woman in or approaching menopause, or menopause is over and you're postmenopausal, this is for you too. And you are tired of obsessing over what you eat. You're frustrated that nothing seems to work like it used to. You're struggling with your energy, your mood, and your unwanted weight gain, and you're ready to feel more peaceful, present, and connected to your body again. If any of this feels familiar, this masterclass will show you how to restore the connection between your mind and body, because that disconnect does not have to continue. And guess what? The side effect of reconnecting the mind and body is it's a natural and sustainable side effect of weight loss or weight release. I hope it sounds good. All you have to do is go to drdebbutler.com/makeover, MAKEOVER, and you're in. And I will tell you what, I think you will come away with at least one thing that will create an aha moment for your brain. And it just takes one thing that will change everything for you. And what have you got to lose? And you know the answer to that. It's free. And why I do this is because this is what I was meant to do. This is how I'm wired. Is there's nothing more than I love to coach women, help them connect mind and body. I don't care if as a chiropractor, I did it one way. As a coach, I do it another way. But being connected and understanding how your mind works and me helping you do that is the privilege of my life. So I thank you if you show up too, because you're helping me do what I was wired to do. So all you have to do is go to drdebbutler.com/makeover, and you can start the makeover. And as always, I would never end this podcast without saying to you, no matter where you go or what you do, please, please, please be very, very kind to yourself, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.